Voices from the Void Chapter 2, The Chosen One. Lena sat back down at her desk, her fingers trembling slightly as she gripped her pencil. The room around her seemed to blur at the edges, her focus solely on the voice resonating within her mind. "Thank you," Dr. Mercer said, his tone conveying both relief and urgency. "I chose you because of your unique sensitivity to the rift between our worlds. Your vivid dreams are not mere coincidences. They are glimpses into my reality. Your artistic mind can perceive things others cannot." Lena felt a shiver run down her spine. "But why me? What makes me so special?" "You have a rare gift," Dr. Mercer explained. "Your subconscious mind is attuned to the frequencies that connect our dimensions. This makes you the perfect conduit. Without your help, we cannot stabilize the rift, and both our worlds will face annihilation." The weight of his words settled heavily on Lena's shoulders. She glanced around her cluttered apartment, the familiar sight now tinged with an eerie sense of destiny. "What do you need me to do?" she asked, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. Dr. Mercer's response was immediate. "First, you must create a device, a kind of transmitter that will amplify our connection. I will guide you through the process, but you'll need to gather specific materials." Lena grabbed her sketchbook and began jotting down notes as Dr. Mercer listed the components. Some of the items were common, but others were obscure, their names unfamiliar to her. "Where am I supposed to find these?" she asked, her brow furrowing in concern. "Some can be found in your world, though they may be difficult to obtain. Others you will have to create, using your artistic skills to transform ordinary objects into something extraordinary." Lena nodded, determination hardening her resolve. "All right, I'll start tomorrow." "But how do I know this will work?" Dr. Mercer's voice softened. "You must trust in your abilities. Your creativity is your greatest asset. Together, we can bridge our worlds and prevent disaster." As the conversation faded, Lena felt a renewed sense of purpose. She spent the rest of the night planning, her sketchbook filled with diagrams and lists. By the time the sun began to rise, she had a clear outline of what needed to be done. The next morning, Lena set out to gather the materials. She visited hardware stores, electronic shops, and even a few specialized boutiques, her list clutched tightly in her hand. The task was daunting, but with each item she acquired, her confidence grew. Back at her apartment, Lena laid out the components on her desk. Wires, circuit boards, crystals, and various other parts formed a chaotic array, yet in her mind, she could already see how they would fit together. She began working tirelessly, soldering connections, arranging pieces with meticulous care, and infusing her own artistic flair into the design. As days turned into weeks, the device slowly took shape. Throughout the process, Dr. Mercer guided her, his voice a constant presence in her mind. He explained the scientific principles behind each step, blending advanced technology with concepts that seemed almost mystical. One evening, as Lena was putting the finishing touches on the transmitter, a sudden wave of exhaustion washed over her. She had been pushing herself to the limit, driven by a sense of urgency and the gravity of her mission. She stepped back, wiping her brow, and admired her handiwork. "It's done," she whispered, hardly believing it herself. Dr. Mercer's voice echoed in her mind, filled with a mixture of pride and anticipation. "You have done well. The final step is to activate it. When you do, our connection will be fully established, and we can begin to stabilize the rift." Lena's heart pounded in her chest as she reached for the switch. She hesitated for a moment, the enormity of what she was about to do sinking in. Taking a deep breath, she flipped the switch. A soft hum filled the room as the device came to life. The crystals glowed with an ethereal light, and the air seemed to vibrate with a strange energy. Lena felt a tingling sensation spread through her body, as if she were being drawn into another realm. "Good," Dr. Mercer said, his voice clear and strong. "Now, we must work together to stabilize the rift. Focus your mind and follow my instructions. Our worlds depend on it." Lena closed her eyes, her mind merging with the device, her thoughts aligning with Dr. Mercer's. Together, they channeled their energies, creating a bridge between dimensions. The process was intense, each second feeling like an eternity, but Lena's determination never wavered. Finally, after what seemed like hours, the humming ceased, and the light from the crystals dimmed. Lena opened her eyes, her body trembling with fatigue but her heart filled with triumph. "It's done," she said softly. "We've done it." "Yes," Dr. Mercer replied, his voice filled with gratitude. "You have saved us both. But this is only the beginning. There are greater challenges ahead, and we must be prepared." Lena nodded, her mind racing with questions and possibilities. She had embarked on a journey into the unknown, and there was no turning back. But she was ready, her spirit ignited by the discovery of her true potential. As she looked at the device, a sense of peace settled over her. She had found her purpose, and with Dr. Mercer's guidance, she would face whatever came next. Together, they would protect their worlds and explore the mysteries of the void.